All right, hey guys, here we are, hole 3. Now, something you might want to consider for this hole is definitely having a little bit more side spin. Just unlocking Apocalypse can be huge. So I'm thinking about going at this with a Apoc 1 here, because I just think it's a little bit more favorable club. Now, another thing that you can do is if you have rock at a decent level, 6, 7, I'm not sure how much you've developed that club, but if you have that developed, you can do that as a replacement if you don't have Apocalypse unlocked at all. Now, one of the things that you can do is, ideally, you can try to lay up right in here. It'll probably require very little top spin to maybe even just a little bit of backspin to kind of get your ball to land and stop right here and then do this hop shot. Now, what I'd ideally like to do is get over to this third fairway. This pretty much solidifies your eagle and it's going to give you an albatross chance. So that's how you're going to see me play the guide. As I mentioned, all you have to do is have Apocalypse unlocked to do it. But do watch my expert tutorial. You can kind of mimic what I did. If you don't have the capability to go to this third fairway like I'm about to, watch my expert tutorial when I lay up in that fairway, and you can do something very, very similar. Now, I feel confident enough with this wind that I can kind of do this with, first off, I'm going to kind of back off. I'm going to use about 3 top spin only. And I'm also, you can see with where I'm aiming away from the edge. I'm not going to try to land as aggressive as my opponent did. So I'm kind of landing much more towards the middle. And then we're just going to, use this curl that we have. And let's just see how this plays out. So here you can see we get it up into this fairway. And as I mentioned, if we get it over here, and that was just my first time doing it. So you would imagine that I can just kind of get better with a little bit more practice. And you probably want to, try to focus on those techniques I'm doing. You can see with the great ball towards the right, it actually ends up and with all that curl, it actually ends up making the ball land very much closer to the rough edge than it looks like. And so that's where, most guys make a mistake, is they don't realize, especially on tailwinds, that it's going to over curl and go land more right than what the bullseye is showing. So that's one of the reasons that I'm playing it over towards the middle a lot more, is because I know it's going to essentially curl more than what it's actually showing. So let's take a look here. And here you can see that I can get this hop to the fairway. So this is a key, because here you can see that we can almost go for this eagle here, or albatross, I mean. So all I'm going to try to do is kind of hit it on this plane here, and I'm going to use maybe about an extra, maybe 5%. So I'm thinking, maybe like 7.5 rings or so. Now, since I'm moving to lower ground, I don't want to overplay too much. But I do want a little bit, because I do know that it's going to kind of, over all this water, it's going to launch a little bit. So there you can see it's coming in, very good speed, almost able to get it. So you can see very straightforward approach here. It's going to give you a very good chance for albatross. And that's really one of the things that you want to consider. Now, if you're my opponent, that's the shot that I would go for. So you can see how he's going to essentially try to max it out. I would use a little bit of backspin. Looks like he's not even touching the spin. But this is exactly what I would do. The only thing he's not doing, he's not curling it enough. So he's going to miss to the right. But if you curl this a little bit harder, you can get it up here. And, 1 or 2 backspin, you'd be able to, get that on line with the hole. It's going to be much more advantageous than doing that fairway hop. So if at all that you can carry it to that second, that last fairway there, you're really going to want to do that. It's going to come in huge, because you'll, give yourself a tap-in eagle. or, you know, potentially, you know, maybe you even get lucky and hole it. So, whereas with the hop shot, it's just going to kind of dribble up there and you'll still have to make a pitch, or maybe it'll just creep on the green. So, you know, try to do that shot if at all possible. If you feel you can, you know, if your drive's a little bit shorter and you feel you can make it over there, just go ahead and do that. So, good luck there, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.